Hey, what's up, friend? You are you interested in lack of skill? Yeah. Or maybe some suck. I'm just a new guy for the love of game. We don't go, I know it's bad. Times have changed, but not my mad. Don't you know that games are my thing? Yeah, I know it's getting real late. Come on, look at me. I even do storytelling. Also podcasts on great game subjects. Okay, yeah, I'm not a Markiplier or a PewDiePie. But hey, that's what makes me so unique, right? Right? Hey everybody, welcome back to witness another episode of The Niko Show. How are we doing? All right. Wait for that to be over. Wait for it. Okay, so yeah, welcome everybody to another just you and I sesh of the podcast. I am your host, NikoTheLegend, also known as the well-mannered teenager, the snowflake, rambling idiot, and vigil. And I hope you're all doing well. So what's up? What are you guys up to? Talk to me. Leave some stuff in the comments. Blah, blah, blah. Tell me about your sex life. Don't tell me, Mark. I don't care, Mark. Oh, hi, doggy, bye. Sorry, I had to get that all out. All right, so, can you believe it? I'm doing another Niko show, and it doesn't take 2 months to do it. Like, I'm getting that motivation back, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. YouTube channel's been really slow lately with productivity, because, truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, little milestone I passed not too long ago was getting over 1,000 subs, and that's pretty much that's pretty much it on that type of mountain. That mountain has been conquered and cleared, and I don't really care about anything afterwards on that, to be honest. I'm pretty nonchalant and laid back with my channel now. I know, right? Finally, I have a choice in the matter. I mean, you could say I've always had a choice in the matter on what videos to release, how I do it, blah, 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 but I feel like it's now because I accomplished the big goal I want. And you know what? I'm happy where I'm at. I may not be making the money off this YouTube channel, and I have way too many videos to even fucking count. But yeah, here we are. Just casually, just you and I talking, or if you're listening, awesome. I really appreciate it because like the last episode, this episode, we were talking about Niko's big gaming journey and like the history of all that and how we got from point A to point B, that type of long, maybe boring journey that you're hearing about, because do you really want to sit here and listen to me talk about my video game journey? I mean, maybe some of you might out there, in case you have this morbid curiosity and you have nothing else better to fucking do. And I know it does sound kind of, how do I say it? Not narcissistic, but arrogant, maybe cocky to just talk about yourself like that, for a whole episode, and just like, look at me, I used to do this and do that. I don't know. I think I'm just mainly do it because at least for right now, I'm kind of out of ideas. I've been trying to get people on the podcast and stuff, but it's taken a lot longer than I intended it to do that. And people, people are people. They're either unreliable or they're just too busy. So yeah, we haven't had a person on the channel in a while, not since Michael and BNAP. But you know what? I'm not complaining or anything. That's just what's going on right now. So it's just little old me pre-recorded podcast. So yes, this is pre-recorded. I haven't been in the mood to do any live streams of the channel yet, especially something like this, because this topic in particular, I don't want to be distracted by anybody in the chat, just because I'd rather just get the point across and I can be over and done with this, That way we can move on to maybe more interesting things. Now, we could do what I used to do. I used to never read the chat, and I'd just be live streaming, and then I would just do the recording, and then that'd be it, and whoever talks in the live chat, they talk. But I don't know. Now, believe it or not, I used to stream on Twitch and YouTube, but it's just YouTube now. But hey, if you are enjoying these podcasts and you give some kind of shit about it, I appreciate if you guys just check out the other episodes, videos, and check out all the links below. Check out how much I like to shill for myself. Can you believe it? I don't even have a Facebook anymore because I got hacked. That Facebook link will be there still, just in case I ever do come back to Facebook. But I got hacked, and I just changed my account information, and then I just disabled my Facebook just to get away from it all. Because honestly, I don't need it. I really don't need it. It feels nice not to have many social media platforms. So it's just, honestly, it's just Instagram and Twitter. Or Twitter, I spend most of my time on just scrolling on stuff, topics, and people I follow, right? And then Instagram, I use it as a way to communicate with people that, if I need a network or I just need to post something for my job as a trainer, personal trainer, and just dip out of there, post and dip type deal. That's what I like to do on that, because otherwise it's just one giant cesspool of narcissism and people posting the same fucking shit type of photos and all that for the past, I don't know, since this shit was allowed on the internet. Way back on the days of MySpace, maybe even before that. God, I still remember going, oh my God, when it was screen names on AIM, when it was so, it was really just, oh God. I remember just going out of my way just to find people randomly on AIM, because you would be able to search for random people on there. They would just give you names and names of people, and you would just hit them up and just start chatting with them. I remember I did that. I don't remember if you could pick which gender you want to look for. I don't think it really mattered, but yeah, it's funny. You used to do so much AIM stuff, instant messaging. And you know what? Instant messaging was great, man. It was great, and then it just became what was the next one? Skype, and then it was, and Zoom calls and shit, and Discord. Discord's great. Discord's very, very great, very nice. Not just for gamers and stuff. It can be for anyone, really. But I think majority of the people still use Skype because that one's more universally well known, kind of like how AIM was. But man, those were the days, dude. Those were the days. Now, today's episode is the second part of the Niko's gaming journey. So last where we left off was pretty much when I moved to Florida, back in 2003, and before that was living in California, did a lot of gaming ventures, and before that lived in Missouri. So if you're curious about what the gaming ventures were back then, I recommend checking out the previous episode. So this was an interesting time in my life, in the family, because back in 2003, 2002, 2003, parents got a divorce. So that was like a first time for me to experience that on the sidelines, or collateral damage with all that. And we had to move to Florida because my dad, he worked for Boeing, for the space shuttle program. So he got a job transfer out in Florida because the money was a lot better. And California was just, even back in 2003, was so fucking expensive, man. I remember my dad had to borrow money from my older brother just to pay the rent and shit. And he owed him like at least always $1,000. Because, we were living in a really, not like a crazy nice place, like big mansion or anything like that, but a nice townhome, gated community. And I'm telling you, the cost of living in California was so fucking crazy. Like, it's crazy now, but it's just always been expensive, man. Irvine, California was just a snooty, high-priced place to live. A lot of fucking brats lived there, a lot of spoiled rich kids. And we were considered middle class, like, I don't know, upper middle class, middle class, or lower middle class. I don't even know. But shit was tough financially, man. Anyway, so yeah, we were making the big move. And I know I mentioned this at the end of the last podcast, first part, part one. The four brothers that I was hanging out with, like, left it like almost every day, dude. Sure, there was other friends in the complex and stuff I was hanging out with that we played games with and all that. But I remember their names. I do. I remember a lot of the friends that I had growing up in California at the time, but it was mainly the four brothers that were next door neighbors. You know, we did everything together, dude. When it came to playing games and stuff, so Chrono Cross was a big game. I was playing along with Final Fantasy IX and Chrono Trigger, but I just remember, you know, the oldest brother, he gave me his copy of Chrono Cross before I moved to Florida, and it was probably one of the best gifts I've ever gotten, because that Chrono Cross is in my top 10 favorite games, man. That is a game I will cherish forever and ever, and there's no ever going back on that, you know, top 10 order, whatever. I don't know exactly where it's at, but it meant a lot. It meant a lot. And then eventually I found out that that game was kind of fucked up because the three younger brothers, they did not take care of those games at all, or the discs. They would just leave them in the worst conditions. Much like their house. No offense, guys, if you're listening, but you know as well as I do, that shit was rough. So I pretty much had to buy a greatest hits copy eventually. And then, God, even way down the road in the 2010s era, I had a friend of mine who gave me his Chrono Cross copy. So I have 3 Chrono Cross copies to this present day, which is fucking funny. That's like Halo 2. I have like 3 or 4 Halo 2 copies, and I don't even know fucking why I do. It's insane. So, yeah, we moved to Florida. And as we're moving to Florida, like I said, it was a weird transition period because my parents got a divorce. My dad was already talking to another woman who moved with us shortly after. So I had a stepmom, and I remember I always wanted a younger stepbrother, to be an older brother, you know, kind of be the big brother helping the kid out or something. I don't know. I was just in that weird mentality. I'm like, man, it'd be nice to have somebody around my age to hang out with, because my older brothers. They're like 6 years apart, you know, so you kind of want that, to have someone close to your age. So, you know what they say, careful what you wish for. This was a traumatic period in my life because with the divorce happening, having a stepmom so quick, and then having a stepbrother so quick, who were both the stepbrother and the stepmom were both Russian, and they spoke, well, the stepmom spoke okay English, the stepbrother spoke pretty much not really any English, but I am telling you, this kid was a fucking problem from the get-go. He was just a spoiled, rotten brat and a piece of shit. Like, just an asshole, dude. Just an incoherent prick. And this kid was fucking weird, dude. So weird. This kid was fucking. He was a compulsive liar too. Just like the worst case scenario. Like, this kid was bad news, dude. So bad that he eventually just got a bunch of jail time when he was an adult, and just he became a fucking criminal. Let's just say that. He exhibited those behaviors early on, and it just stayed with him from here on out to this day. And to this day, he's still a fucking piece of shit. Thank God I don't fucking talk to him or anything anymore. God, he's a scumbag. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that this man, he fucked up so much gaming that I've done over the years from 03 and until my dad got another divorce back in like 07, 08. Oh my God, dude, it's just a nightmarish period. So fucking weird. Such a weird kid. The kid used to fucking eat like shaving cream too. It's so fucking bizarre, dude. As soon as we moved to Florida. So I'll try to list some examples of like what shitty behavior he did throughout the gaming talk and stuff, on what I was playing. So anyway, going through that whole period, we move to a condo, a beach condo here in the Space Coast in Brevard County, and it was a pretty nice place. And you know what game came out around that time that I'll never forget, because it was such an important time in my life with the whole divorce thing happening? Was fucking Morrowind, dude. Morrowind came out, I think, right before we moved or right after. And that was a game that we were playing for a long time. And I'll never forget that, man. Morrowind was one of those holy shit experiences, because you've never really played a game like that on consoles. And the game had a lot of loading screens because it's a Bethesda game. But dude, that was the immersive sim to fucking play at the time. It was fucking crazy, crazy Xbox exclusive game to play at the time. It was insane. Me and my older brothers were playing. My younger stepbrother, I didn't really give a fuck what he was playing. All I know is that he fucking saved over my Pokemon Blue file that I spent so many fucking hours in, dude. So many hours in. Thank God I still have the copy of mine. But that's a big strike right there, isn't it? Even if he did do it on accident, it pissed me off. So, oh my God, I was also pretty depressed about that because, Pokemon was my life pretty much still to this day. I'm playing the DLC for Scarlet right now. But anyway, so that was happening in the background. But yeah, we were playing Morrowind fucking all day long. And you know what kind of ended the Morrowind career? The Morrowind play career was, how like some electrical lights are connected to all parts of they're connected to the TV, the lamp. Like it turns off the entire room or turns it on. So, on the loading screens it says don't turn off or do anything with the game while it's saving because it'll fuck it up. Well, that pretty much happened to all of our accounts, all of our save files somehow. We turn off the lights during a save for mine, for my two other brothers, and all our files got corrupted. And that's pretty much when we stopped playing that game because we spent so many hours in that fucking game. Because Morrowind was an alien of an experience. It was a very surreal experience, very cerebral. Because, like I said, that was a game. I was like 12, going on 13 years old at that point. And that was just a game I just had no idea it even existed until I played it. But if anybody's played Morrowind, you know as well as I do. If you played it back in the day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was so weird to play. There was no hand-holding or anything. You just literally had to find out where to fucking go. And somehow I knew where to go in certain places, even around that time of my life, even though I've never experienced a fucking game like that, dude. An RPG on that massive scope. It was such a complex game. And like I said, that game was so alien. Everything was trial and error. You had no idea what point A to point B was going to be. You just had to just go wherever your fucking mind wanted to go. And it was not an easy game. I remember in the beginning, when you fight those little worm creatures, when you leave the boat and you leave Sedanin or whatever, that first village, and you're fighting those little fucking carrier worms, and it takes like 10 minutes to kill this thing because there's such tabletop RNG shit going on. You're behind the scenes, not even seeing the role of hitting this fucking thing, and you're just like, whiff, 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 hit, whiff, 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 hit, whiff, whiff, and then the thing finally dies. I'll never forget that because I just thought that was so fucking ridiculous of a combat strat. But I had no idea why that was happening. I was just like, oh, maybe I just really suck at this game. My character's poop level and I have a shit weapon. I remember saving up to buy a silver weapon in the first town, and it didn't change anything, even while I was level 1. But, so, yeah, the whole game was fucking crazy. I just remember trying to steal everything in that game because there was, if I saw a guard that had something really cool on them, like ebony armor or glass armor, oh my God, dude, I try to kill them. Like the guards especially, take their armor, but they would kick my ass every time because they were just OP. Same thing with stealing. I tried so many times to do successful steals. I would save scum and reload all the fucking time. Do that. That game actually taught me the meaning of save scumming. Actually, you know what it was? It was actually Ocarina of Time that did that shit. That taught me save scumming because you could do it so easily in that game. But anyway, besides my file getting corrupted, the final nail in the coffin before that happened, and this is crazy because this happened with Oblivion, and we'll eventually get to Oblivion because that was a big game to play too. Vampirism. I remember getting vampirism because I thought it was so fucking weird that when you're turning into a vampire, you get these weird fever dreams that happen for you, and the descriptions appear on the screen, and they talk about how crazy your dream was, and I was like, oh, this is weird. I've never seen this. This is like, I don't even know how many hours into the game, but far enough to be like, whoa, what the fuck? I've never heard of this. And once the dream description is done, I was a vampire. And I guess when you fight vampires, they don't physically suck your blood. They use some bullshit spell that you have no idea that they're using the spell at the time. Because I don't fucking know. I didn't know that this was a possibility. I didn't know you could even fight vampires, pretty much. I think it's cool that you can. But it was a miserable experience because I hated traveling at night despite having increased strength and stuff. But guess what? Nobody in town wanted to talk to you because for some reason they just automatically, I think they automatically knew you were a vampire. I'm not too sure. So, people can fact check me on that. But it sucked. And then my save file got corrupted. So, whatever. Whatever. I don't fucking know. Now, one crazy experience that happened in that game was I had no idea this, like everything was trial and error, but somehow my brothers and I were able to progress through the game with its story. I don't know, but it's the part where you figure out how to open the door, like this some kind of hidden door in the mountain that kind of progresses the story. And I kid you not, none of us had any idea that this door was going to be there. We were just exploring, and we randomly found this door in the mountain. No fucking clue. And it just wouldn't open. Wouldn't open. I remember just waiting, doing the wait or resting, skipping ahead on, and just sitting there trying to get this door open. Maybe it was a magical door. It needed to be on a certain time and date. Eventually, it fucking opened. And oh my God, it was so bizarre. Anyway, that was just like a crazy moment because we had no idea what we were fucking doing in that game. Had no fucking clue. No fucking clue. Anyway, there's so many moments like that in Morrowind. And Morrowind kind of used to scare me as a kid too, because a lot of those dungeons were dark and kind of spooky with the crypts and like the dwarven factories and stuff. You fight those dwarven made, like the Dwemer. Was it the No, not the Dwemer. Whatever, the robots and the mechanical creatures. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. But yeah, there was there was just so many fucked up moments in that game where I was like, oh my God. And then getting lost in Vivek. Yeah, you see how much shit I can talk about this? I can talk about Morrowind all day, dude. So many memories with that game. But Vivek, I had no idea where the fuck I was going. I was so lost in that place. So goddamn lost. I just didn't know where to go. There was no obvious place to follow. No signs. There's no quest markers or anything. You just had to fucking figure it out. I used to get kind of anxious in those fucking dungeons in that town because I just couldn't find where to go. But anyway, Morrowind was a great time for a time. And, I've kind of gone back at a couple points in my life to play it again, but I don't know. I kind of wish I was older to truly understand that game and how it's actually supposed to be played. But I still had a wild time with it. I don't regret it, obviously. I mean, who regrets playing a game? It was a pretty wild experience. So, if you have an experience like that with a game like Morrowind, I want to know down in the comments if there's another game at that moment in time for you experiencing an open world game like that. It was crazy. Crazy to make your own avatar and stuff and all this RPG tabletop crap happening behind the scenes and choosing all these different races and stuff. It was fucking crazy. I keep saying that, but I'm telling you, it was. So, let's see, 2003. Okay, so I think what consoles did I have? We had the Xbox, had the N64, had the Dreamcast, had Game Boy Color. Oh my God, I'm trying to think here. I remember my stupid ex-stepbrother bought a pink Game Boy Advance, and I used to make fun of him for it all the time because, he had a pink Game Boy Advance. I remember we had Wario Land 4 for it and a couple other games. Pokemon Ruby, I didn't get that yet. That was later. God, what? Did I have oh God, I can't remember. Did I have a GameCube? No. I did not have a GameCube yet. So we were just playing whatever was coming out for the Xbox, like the Halos, the Fusion Frenzies, and that period of like 2001 to whenever the GameCube came out. Was that 2003 or 2004? I'm going to look at my phone right now. I think it was 2003. Let's see. The GameCube. When did this bad boy come out? Oh my god. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 2002. Okay. The thing is, I didn't have money to get a GameCube, right? Because it was the Xbox and Xbox only, which was fine. So I would have to go over to my friend's house to play the GameCube because everybody was playing Super Smash Brothers Melee. Oh my fucking god, dude! Melee was the game to fucking play, man. Um, but when we moved out of the condo, I'm kind of moving things here along. We moved to this place in the same city, same town, this gated community, very nice gated, retired gated community. Big place, had like three pools, a clubhouse, a gym, beach access. It was a great place. It was a great place, dude. Um, I wasn't going to school just yet, and I oh, what was it? Seventh grade. Seventh grade. Is when I started school there at this high school. It was a seventh through 12th high school. So a lot of years at that school. A lot of fucking years. I spent my entire high school career there, 7th through 12th, grade school. Now, I didn't really have too many friends starting out in school. It was just people I kind of met on the bus. Um, I met a guy who I was friends with for a time. He was the first friend I had in Florida, and man, I haven't talked to him in a long time. He was actually, you know what? He was. Oh man, I haven't talked to him in so long, but he was a deep down a really good guy. He was a cool dude, uh, and if I he actually was, he had my back per se. If someone was bullying me and stuff, he'd have my back. He was pretty cool. That kind of friend that you thank God he was like that from the get go. Him and I used to hang out all the time and play Xbox games and stuff like you wouldn't believe. God, this is the period where I was recording Dragon Ball Z tapes, dude. Who remembers that shit, right? That's all I was doing in California too, was watching Dragon Ball Z, getting into anime and stuff, right? And watching Toonami. But all I was doing was recording Dragon Ball Z and watching that. So this is around the time when the Majin Buu saga came out. I just remember just recording episodes at his house, which I thought was funny because his parents were there too. But it was, whatever. He was kind enough to let me do that. And then anyway, we just play Halo or play Counter Strike or Battlefront, just whatever, just hanging out. Um, but yeah, what happened was he wasn't like my neighbor, but he wasn't too far away. He was maybe like a block away or a couple streets away, maybe like a 10 to 15-minute walk or something. Very easy to get to his place though, very easy. I just had to hop the fence and he was pretty much right there. But there was these neighbors that I had that I became friends with for a very long time and still didn't have a GameCube yet. And I met them on the bus. And I remember I was very direct about it. We were all obnoxious, snot-nosed punks around that time, fucking puberty. But I just remember talking. It was two brothers. I remember talking to the youngest brother. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come over. We're gonna hang out today." I literally said it like that, which is kind of invite yourself. But he's like, okay." And pretty much from then on, we just kept like that's when we were slowly becoming best friends and stuff. And we were playing. I think what was it? I don't remember if I'm pretty sure I showed them Halo. I showed them the Xbox. They were big PlayStation. They were obsessed with PlayStation 2. Okay, I didn't have a PlayStation 2. I only had the PS1. I was always a generation behind when it came to the PlayStation, and then Nintendo became kind of like a waiting game because I was really into the Xbox. But they didn't care for the Xbox. They thought they were just PlayStation fanboys. But they liked Halo a lot. Eventually, they got Xboxes and stuff. We do LAN parties, and then the oldest brother, he was a big like rage quitter and spoiled sport. He would always like leave whenever he would lose a lot in the LAN parties. He would just fucking just rage quit and leave and then walk home. He was a big fucking whiny. He was such a whiny baby, dude. Like he was a brat. He always had to be on top. He was one of those guys. I hope he's doing well though. But anyway, but they got the GameCube, right? They got the Platinum GameCube. I think. Oh God, did it come with Wind Waker? I don't remember exactly, but it was one of those things where if your friend got it, you had to get it. And the oldest brother was pretty pushy. He was pretty pushy, and he was always like trying to kind of force my hand on stuff. Volunteerism shit happened a lot with this friendship and stuff, and it was such a rough patch for the longest time in the beginning because like I said, man, he was very demanding, and you didn't know any better around that time. You were just like, okay, whatever, it's fine. So I got a GameCube. I got an orange GameCube. And I can't remember what games I got for it. I don't remember. Maybe Smash Brothers, whatever. I was building my collection. I remember I was getting all the big Nintendo AAA games, and I definitely got a lot of AA or obscure franchises and stuff. Man, I used to buy so many GameCube games. It was fucking ridiculous. So many fucking binging. And you know what? I wasn't just buying games for that. I was buying the games for the Xbox, for the PlayStation 1. It was just like all of the above, pretty much. I was still playing a bunch of old games. I was still playing Final Fantasy 9 for the longest time, grinding. 7, I was still grinding. Breath of Fire 3. I was still playing Halo, like Dead or Alive 3. Like, dude, like I said, like gaming was just crazy around that time. But I fucking remember, yeah, we're still like in 2003, 2004 era. I remember that I traded in my GameCube. Oh, what was it? Was this when you know what? I think this is when we only had one Xbox at the time. We didn't have, I think I said before we all had our own Xboxes. No, it was just one. But I remember I traded in my GameCube because my brothers convinced me to get an Xbox so we can all play Halo together or something. Because, was Halo 2 coming out? I think Halo 2 was coming out. And we all wanted to play online or whatever, something like that. And I remember the brothers, the youngest brother was like, oh, well, he's like, Greg's not going to be happy. I remember he said his name. He's not going to be happy. And he wasn't. Like, the oldest brother got so butthurt about that. And he's like, why'd you get an Xbox? Go get your GameCube back, blah, blah. And he made me feel really shitty about it because he was such a fucking shithead, dude. Oh, my God. I'll never forget him stealing my Magic cards. Like, one of the first times. He was a compulsive liar, dude. He was really, really a rough kid in the beginning. He would go behind your back on a lot of shit. But like I said, dude, you just don't know any better. You really don't. You just took it on the chin and just moved on, and maybe he'll fucking, I don't know, feel bad or something. But no, he didn't. So yeah, he convinced me to get a GameCube again. And then I traded in the GameCube again to get another Xbox. It was so fucking stupid. I was just like going back and forth, back and forth. And then I kept the Xbox, and then I got the GameCube. And I had both. I can't remember how it happened. I just had both. Fuck it. And this, so I didn't have a PS2 for the longest time. I got a PS2 Slim when the PS3 was coming out. Okay, like 2006 or something. So in between then, like I said, all the big online games, like Halo 2 was such a big fucking deal for me and my brothers. I remember even my ex-stepbrother, the douchebag, we all got it at the same time. We were all playing it. Playing the campaign and stuff. And I'll never fucking forget it, dude. Just seeing the hype videos for that. Remember the huge demo reveal video showing off the Halo 2 campaign and how fucking epic that was? So the hype was fucking real for Halo 2, dude. I remember doing the midnight launch for GameStop. Oh my God, it was so fucking cool. I know, big nerd moment. But it was amazing, dude. And dude, I kid you not, my friends, or whoever's watching this, listening to this, Spotify, watching this video on YouTube, I would play Halo 2 every single fucking day. I kid you not. Every day after school, I would always be playing Halo 2. Either System Link, campaign, or online matchmaking, competitive. every day. It was everybody that I was hanging out with was fucking talking about that game. Everybody I knew was playing that game. It was so fucking popular. It was the game to fucking have. And I remember getting so fucking hyped for this game, man, because I was hanging out with a bunch of different friends, man. See, here's the thing about me. In high school, I was friends. I just was friends on whoever I just wanted to be friends with. Okay, I didn't really care about cliques. I didn't care about the popular or who's friends with who, what grade they were in. I didn't give a shit, man. I was trying to just yeah, go with the flow and just no expectations. I didn't care about that. I didn't grow up in that society of like, you know, hang out with the jocks, hang out with the goths, the punks, or I didn't give a fuck about that. I wasn't a bully or anything too, but I never got in any fights in high school, but I didn't take any shit from people because I was more of like when push comes to shove type of guy. You know, I could take a lot on the chin, I could take jokes, no problem, but eventually, you know, you got to stop, and these people wouldn't stop. And they're just being, at that point, they weren't even just making fun of me, just like to shoot the shit or dick around. They're just being fucking douchebags, like bullies themselves. And there was a lot of periods where I had to stand up for myself and they never fucked with me again. It's not about just if you can fight somebody or not. It's just, you know, standing up for yourself and not taking the shit anymore. Anyway, so going back to with the gaming stuff, dude, I'm telling you, Halo 2 was the fucking shit. For many, many years, all the way from 2004 to 2007, man, when Halo 3 came out. There's the same thing with Halo 3, you know. It's the same thing with every Halo game. Just played the fuck out of every day besides Halo Infinite because that game for the longest time was trash. Fuck you, 343. But so there was and I regret this to the bitter end, man. I always regret this. So how I mentioned when I was buying so many GameCube games, and I was buying a lot, folks. I had a giant stack of GameCube games. And everybody does it at least once in their gaming career or gaming life, where you purge your gaming collection in some shape or form for some fucking weird reason. I don't know why. Like I said, I must have gone through 3 to 4 different GameCubes, and I had a stack of games, and I'll never forget it where I went to GameStop to trade in half my fucking stack of GameCube games, man. And I had some big fucking hitters, man, like Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Sunshine, Smash Brothers Melee, Mario Party, like a lot of the really popular GameCube games, man. And then I had some left over. God. And I don't remember why I did it. It eludes me to this day. Maybe I was trying to get a Oh, you know what? That's what it was. I think I was trying to get an Xbox 360 because I used to visit California every year, right? To visit my mom twice a year. And I remember I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to on AIM, but they got the 360 and they were playing Perfect Dark Zero and shit and just whatever was out. And, FOMO was happening and I wanted to get one. And I think I just made that decision to fucking get the goddamn 360 by trading in the fucking games, dude. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. And I regret it to this day. Oh god, I tried to build up my collection slowly but surely with the games I had. The big titles, those it's fine, but the titles that are way cheaper, like the third-party games and stuff, I was able to get those back for a good price, which is nice. I'm trying to think if there's any other big memories. I was just always good at getting the big games for the big AAA games for the consoles, for the Xbox, for the GameCube and stuff, we were just always playing those, man. Just whatever was coming out at the time that we enjoyed. Nintendo was just always doing good with that. And, I had so many friends over the years. I was hanging out with this person all the time. I was hanging out with this person all the time. I don't know if anybody's ever done like the switcheroo that amount of times, but I just would find the next person to hang out with and I would just hang out with them. And I'm telling you, I've done that so many times. I just had so many good friends, so many friends to hang out with. Oh, geez. We're almost to the 40-minute mark. Okay. Geez. We were just talking about that shit for a while. The Xbox and GameCube that generation. What was my first game for the 360? We'll just do that real quick. I think. Oh god, it was not Halo 3. I think it was Perfect Dark Zero. Yes, I believe it was. Pretty sure I believe it was Perfect Dark Zero because that was the multiplayer game to have for the 360 at the time. Because that was the launch title. Whether you like that game or not, it was still a blast to play. At least for me, it was. The 360 was a fucking cool console, man. I'm sorry, but the 360 was definitely the more popular console to own, despite the Red Rings of Death over the PS3. And then eventually the Wii came out, right? That was really fucking popular. But the 360, man, was cool, dude. That was a dope fucking console. The multiplayer console to have, and everyone was having a good time playing all kinds of games on the PS3, the 360, all the big online like Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo, Forza games. Sport games. You just fucking name it, dude. Xbox Live was the fucking shit. Mech Assault, although that was an OG Xbox game, but you get it. You get what I'm trying to say. Dead or Alive 4, Tekken, and all that shit, man. Oblivion. Oh my god, dude. Oblivion was the first fucking game I got 100 hours in. And by the way, I also got Vampirism in that game in like the first fucking week, and no guides were really out for a while to teach you how to cure vampirism. That fucking sucked. Eventually it came out maybe like a few days after searching everywhere on the forums. My god, dude. Fucking Morrowind. The 360 had heavy hitters, man. They had fucking heavy hitters. It was amazing, dude. The Halo 3s, the Gears of Wars, the Mass Effects, the Call of Duties, the Bioshocks, the fucking Jade Empires, oh my god, dude. The Dead or Alives. Oh god. Insane amount of exclusives for that console that were just so fucking fun. Jesus, Guitar Hero. It was just 2007 was fucking nuts, man. That was a crazy year to fucking be an Xbox fan for sure. Definitely fucking spoiled, man. But so we'll get into, you know what, this is gonna be a multi-part series, and I hope to keep up with it. But hey, just remember, I was dealing with all this, like I said, all these different friends I had. The douchebag stepbrother that I had, he was just such a fuckface, dude. I can't tell you how many fistfights I got into that with that shithead. Buying all these different games. I was playing football all the okay. So I should have said this when I first met those two brothers and stuff. We weren't just playing video games. But before I got to Florida, I got into skateboarding. Okay, and skateboarding and football were huge parts of my life around that time. And then I'll get to go into my band and gaming life when 2008 rolls around, when we get to those years. But yeah, it was okay. So check this out. It was school, video games, skateboarding, football, and working out and going to the beach. Those were the things I did the most in my life. And then try to keep a steady job at age 15. But man, I could not do that for until I was 18, dude. It was so my punctuality was fucking shit for the longest time. But anyway, much more to talk about, much more to discuss, folks. I'm not the best at describing all these in great detail because there's so much that I could go into, but I'm just trying to move along with the periods and kind of give you the highlights of those. So hey, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it, folks. I've been your host, NikoTheLegend. If you did like what you see, the links are down below. Check me out on all the other platforms, and just like to have a discussion. If you are an artist or a big-time YouTuber or whatever, and you want to get on the podcast, let me know. I'm always down to talk to guests, have guests on here. I've had plenty of guests, and they've all been amazing. I haven't had one shitty interview. Or one shithead guest or anything, because it's just why, right? If you don't want to be on it, don't be on it. Don't be obligated. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this will be on all platforms with the links below. So part 3 will be next, talking about the 360 era, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you have any similar memories down in the comments below. So take care, Pathfinders, and I'll see you on the next one.